Hello, I'm Kaiser and welcome to Moose Reads. Obviously, if you're paying any attention to this channel, you know things haven't been going great. I started struggling with my uploads back in November, and I haven't uploaded anything in 6 months. The truth is, I kept debating for quite a while whether I actually wanted to continue this channel. I am not an especially disciplined person, and I often struggled to make myself sit down and write scripts for my videos. It started to feel like a chore, which I think was exacerbated by the sheer number of reviews I had to write each month. On top of that, November brought terrible tidings for America, which kicked my depression into high gear and made an already difficult task nearly impossible for me. The more I told myself I needed to catch up, the more stressed I felt, and the less I wanted to continue. Finally, I gave myself permission to just stop. I figured the 30 subscribers I had weren't likely to care all that much, and if I really didn't want to do this anymore, it was better to stop before that number had a chance to climb, and I felt more pressure to do it, even if I didn't want to. I honestly thought quitting would be a relief, and I would never look back. But the truth is, I thought about what I would say in a review with most of the books I read, and I kept thinking that maybe I really did want to keep going. The waffling thoughts I expected to disappear once I stopped posting just flipped to the other side of the coin. Instead of asking myself if I really wanted to keep making videos, I kept asking myself if I really wanted to stop. Honestly, it's annoying, but ultimately, I do really want to at least write proper reviews for the books I read. I read enough books that it's hard to remember exactly how I felt about them after much time has passed, and having a review to go back to would be nice. Plus, I read a fair number of indie books alongside some of the more mainstream ones, and the more reviews those books get, the better. Since writing the reviews is the part I struggle with the most, I either have to accept that I'm just not going to remember my thoughts on books, or I might as well keep going. And honestly, I think I really do want to. I actually wrote a wrap-up for January and February back at the beginning of March, fully intending to start again, and then never recorded it. Largely that has to do with my thoughts on catching up. I thought I would just start with a clean slate, but then there were several series I had finished or continued that I didn't write reviews for, so I felt like I should probably try to do those at least. And then I had started reading the Temeraire series in February, so I'd have to review the 2 books in that I'd read before I could review the rest of the series. And then I needed to write around a dozen reviews, and I started feeling overwhelmed. Thus, time moved on without me doing anything on the channel. But it was always in the back of my mind, and I kept thinking about when and how I might jump back in. I honestly should have done it last month. I wasn't in the middle of any series, and it would have been fairly easy to just start fresh-ish and move forward. Unfortunately, I failed to take that into consideration, and instead decided that mid-year was a nice solid point. Now, here we are. You might be sitting there thinking, but Kaiser, why not just make videos without scripts if the scripting is the problem? Good question, hypothetical viewer. The reasons are twofold. First, I tried that already. When I first started this channel, I did fully unscripted videos for September and October of 2023. Those videos were poorly structured and contained so many ums that it hurts, which I realized because of the second reason. The second reason is that I refuse to post any videos without fully accurate subtitles. So, if you, like me, are a person who likes or needs them, but doesn't use them on YouTube due to a common lack of quality, you can trust that mine are solid. Initially, I was going to let the auto-generation do the heavy lifting and then make manual corrections. But it didn't feel good adding in all the ums that the auto-generation apparently leaves out. I could have also left them out, but then the subtitles wouldn't be accurate, which is frustrating for people who need them. So I tried to edit out some of the filler words with my video software, but then there were an army of cuts that made the video look and sound choppy, and I quickly determined that wouldn't work. So I scrubbed the videos, wrote scripts, and started over. Some people can make videos without a script. I'm just not one of them, so scripts there will be. That being said, what's the plan? So far, this is what my reading year looks like. There are 36 books there, 8 of which are rereads with reviews already posted. Initially, I was just going to pick up with my June wrap-up and reviews for the 2 new books I read last month. A nice, easy start. Only that gets a bit sticky, since both of them are the second book in a series. Songs of Chaos is easy enough. I'll just do a review of the first book as well, since I only just read it in May, so the hardest part will be remembering what happened in which book to avoid spoilers in the wrong video. But A Rulebook for Restless Rogues is the second in the Lucky Lovers of London series, the first book of which, A Gentleman's Book of Vices, I read in March 2023 before it had any sequels. When I found out there were more, I was far enough away from it that I was just going to let it go. And then my book club, bafflingly, picked the third book, A Blue Stocking's Guide to Decadence, as our July book. It's been 2 years, so my memories of book 1 are shabby at best, so I'll probably discuss my vague memory of it within the review for book 2 and call it good enough. Additionally, since I did finish Anne of Green Gables and start Roll for Love and Monstrous in the 6 months of downtime, and I already wrote scripts for January and February, I plan to do a series of catch-up wrap-ups for every month this year. That way, there's at least some kind of review for every book I read, even if it isn't a full review. All told, that's 9 videos. I intend to post the catch-up wrap-ups one after another next week, and then the full reviews on the Mondays and Fridays following. From then on, with any luck, it'll be business as usual, or rather, business as it ought to be. I'm not going to make any promises about posting full reviews for my backlog. However, I apparently wrote the review for Celestial Monsters, so there's a very good chance I'll post that at some point. I want to try to at least make videos for this series that either were or are still in progress, but I'm not setting any kind of timeline for those. Beyond that, we'll see what happens. If you're still here and watching this video, I am grateful for your patience and understanding. I hope you'll continue watching my videos. I'll try not to let you down again.